Hi guys, I'm Ree.
Manny JR.
And this is The Need to Know. So guys, this is our second time doing the upcoming project. This is 2021, just so you know, we in year 2021. And we have one special guest. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Manny JR from Southside Jamaica, Queens, the one and only JR the Dreamer. I'm on here today with Ree for The Need to Know. She's gonna throw some questions at me. I hope nothing crazy.
So guys, we're gonna talk about music, politics, and all that good stuff, but I'm also gonna throw in a little bit of spice, as you already know, that's always nice. We're gonna start with my favorite question. If you know this question, you always know I ask this question if I have an artist. So, I hope you got your answers. Who is your top 5 artists of all time?
Ooh, number 1, Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
Number 2, I'm gonna put LL Cool J. Number 3, I'm definitely gonna put Rakim. Number 4, I'm gonna put Nas. And number 5, oh my God, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Method Man. Yeah, I went from Jersey, but it all the way from New York. If y'all know, Lauryn Hill's from Jersey, so just to let y'all know. But Lauryn, LL, Nas, Rakim, and Method Man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Y'all didn't expect that, did you?
Wow.
Thought I was gonna say what? You thought I was gonna say? Oh, no. Oh, we don't talk about Jay-Z over here. Ether. Just saying. Ether. Ether. Illmatic, Stillmatic, and we still at it. Let's go. Honestly, my 5 was a toss-up between Method Man or Redman. So, because they both just lyrically nice. Method Man has always been like one of my favorite rappers. But Lauryn Hill's number 1 because she could do it all, and she was a female. She could body men, sing you. She could out-sing you, out-rap you, and make it look good. But people talk shit about her, but I don't care. She did her thing. We're not gonna worry about her being late to concerts and stuff.
So we could go into politics. I feel like we should go into politics first and work our way into the smoothness. So, where do you see music now versus music before?
Oh, it's crazy. I talk about this all the time with my boys and my cousins and stuff like that. Because we're all big on music, especially the music from the era I grew up in. I'm a 90s kid, so I grew up on like a lot of 2000 rap, 90s rap. I started listening to music late, but it was always the Ice Cubes, Run DMCs, the KRS-One, Public Enemies, and everybody from that era that really captured me as an artist. So I would be honest and say the difference between the generations is social presence. I keep it 100 with you. Back then, it was kind of hard to get a social presence. You know what I'm saying? You had to show up certain places and do certain things with certain people and be here, be there to meet this guy. Now it's simple. It's, yo, I'm gonna tag this person and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest, where I see music now, and this is gonna sound like a negative, I know I sound like an old head, it's too much clout chasing going on. And it's not a lot of talent in the music part of it. A lot of people are entertainers, and that's cool, but they kind of watered down like, I'm from New York, so you kind of watered down the legacy of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Or R&B from the beginning. Because it's like, a lot of singers don't sing no more. They auto-tune everything out. Rappers don't rap no more. They put a few words together and say something. Say something swifty, like, I'm like, all right, cool, bro. Like, but what are you saying? Like, back in the day, music was more about relatable, like realistic topics, realistic stuff. Like, that's why for me, Lauryn Hill was the first album for rap that I've ever listened to, full length, from top to bottom. Just the album was fire and it related to me. And I was a boy.
Right.
So, but the topic still touched. Common was another good rapper that I love back in the deep, like when he was talking about from when he was a D-boy, how he shifted from being a D-boy to a poetic activist rapper, you know what I mean? And it's crazy. So it's a lot of like Nas stuck out because Illmatic I lived in Queens, so hearing stories about Queensbridge and knowing people from Queensbridge. So I think that's the biggest difference between now and then music was the social presence and the clout chasing. It's different, it's big difference.
How do you feel about how clout is is making people so much more popular than than their actual music, and how they and what their messages are within their music?
Ah, man, that's a touchy subject for me, simply because I would personally think that, I feel like a person's talent should weigh what people see them as, opposed to what they did to be present. Nowadays it's like clout outweighs recognition. You know what I mean? But at the same token, if you never noticed, from my perspective, clout dies extremely quickly. You got artists like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, you know what I'm saying? They really relative, like recently relative, and they're gonna be here for the next 30 years. You know what I'm saying? But then you got people like, no offense to him, but Moneybagg Yo and CJ and a lot of these rappers that don't really rap, but just they're not gonna be the next rapper to come out that sound like them or has something a little more gimmicky than them that can get more attention than them. They're gonna fall off, and those rappers are gonna become them. They're gonna replace them. You can't replace a J. Cole. People recognize who J. Cole is. You can't replace him. You can't replace a Kendrick. You can't replace a Drake. They touch every facet of music, from entertainment to artistry to visual arts, and the love and respect that they get from old and new generations. So clout is only going to touch one generation, and I think it's going to eventually fade away.
Okay, let's talk about this drill music. I think that's something that is popular, and now it's getting caught on to other places, and now it's getting known and now it's getting more popular. So it's like, how do you think that's affecting music now, and how people are listening to music and what they're listening to and what's more, and how is it relevant? I feel
Well, the one thing I know from what I've known about drill music is it started in the UK. The beat types and the way people rap started in UK and a mixture of Chicago rap. So honestly, drill music is just another part of the culture. And it's just another voice for another niche of music. You know what I'm saying? You got people that listen to lyrical rap, because they feel what they're saying. That's because I feel what the lyrical person is saying because the way they put it together. Then you got people that they don't need the complexity of a lyrical artist. Simply said, pop that nigga on the block, and that's it. Sometimes you don't need anything else to be said. So I think drill rap is definitely something. Drill rap and trap rap are definitely two genres of rap that I feel like just relate to a particular thing. It is being, I guess, culturalized a little more over publicly, I would say. You got a lot of people that's listening to drill rap that don't do drill shit. That bother me. That's what bothers me. That's the only thing about drill rap that bothers me. You got a lot of people, white boys in the suburbs, they don't know about that drill shit, but they'll sing that shit. They'll sing it. They'll talk about having a 9 on their hip, riding with the Nina, and fucking fat booty bitches. And it's like, you don't live that life. That's not what you live that life. You don't live that experience. You don't know what it means to have to run down on an op. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what it means to have to run from a police officer or nothing like that. So that's my only thing with drill rap, is it becomes so influential and so culturalized that it starts to create a narrative for people that want to live this life.
So in that sense, music is being normalized in certain senses, like certain genres then. Yeah,
I think music has always been like that. Whatever music is popular at the moment becomes easily monetized. It becomes it's on TV, it's on commercials, it's on this, it's on this. I was just talking about my cousin, they got Grubhub doing the Woo dance from Pop Smoke, not knowing and understanding the culture behind Pop Smoke's lifestyle, but they got it up there, not understanding what it means. Like back in the day when they had Walk It Out. That was a whole dance move for a set where they was from, but they turned it into a dance. So it's like, whatever's popular in our culture, let's be real, black culture really runs the world. Whatever's popular, black people started it. Let's be real. But so whatever music is popular to us and whatever music is popular at the time is what's gonna create a narrative of what's a trend in society. So drill right now is the biggest trend in society. That's like back in the day it was staying woke, you know, it was being woke. Next it was gangster rap, you know, rap beef. Then it was dance. Then it was dance hall. Then it was Soulja Boy and them, you know, anything for MySpace, anything for Vines, anything for, now it's anything for TikTok, anything that'll catch your attention on Instagram. Right. So it's part of the culture, and it's always going to be part of the culture, and it's always going to create the narrative for whatever trend becomes big.
How do you feel male rappers are becoming popular right now opposed to women rappers?
Whew, another touchy subject for me. Jeez Louise. I feel like my biggest difference between a male rapper and a female rapper is that there is none. The only thing that strikes me differently is not so much that it's a gender thing, it's about what women rappers are told to talk about.
Right.
Like, you got female rappers like Rhapsody, who's been in the game for like years. You got, what's that UK girl? She got a song called Pen Black Girls in the UK. She had a remix with Joja Smith on it. Fire artist, amazing artist. No Name Gypsy, amazing artist. You got a lot of female rappers who can spit, like, with the best of men. You know what I'm saying? But the way society dictated is, you gotta be if you're gonna be a female rapper, you gotta be sexy. You gotta talk about what your looks and stuff can get you. And it's like, it's no big difference, because men do the same thing. They talk about the money they have and how it gets them pussy. So it's like, it's no big difference, but in a certain sense, personally speaking, I would love to hear more female rappers who rap. Like, without the sexual content sometimes. Not because I don't appreciate the sexual content. You know, Trina was a nice artist. Trina was dope. Nicki Minaj, when she first came out, was dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? All of them, Missy Elliott, Foxy Brown, Adina Howard, Legend, TLC, if you ever really listened to it, SWV, all of them had the same type of content. It was just how they put it out. Yeah, like nowadays it's a lot more vulgar. Like, it's just more like straight in your face. Like, yeah, my pussy wet. Like, I fuck your nigga if you like. And it's just like, all right, cool. So don't even go near you at certain points in time. I'm like, I got you. You know, like, it was something about the allure of how they did it back in the day, opposed to how it is now. It was
more calm. It wasn't as like, this is what it is.
Yeah, like Creep. Yeah. Song about her cheating on her man. Like, I'll creep on. Hey, come on, like.
And it was so like, you know what it's about, but it's not in your face.
Yeah.
Like, it's very like, it's poetic in a way. Like, and a lot of artists are not being poetic with their content anymore. They are just, this is the truth. Like, this is what it is, regardless if I'm fronting for the camera. And I feel like that's another thing. Like, a lot of artists, they're fronting for the camera. They're telling you this is what it is, but in reality, that's not what they're doing.
It's for the clout. It goes back to the clout thing. A lot of people do that stuff for the clout. Like, they live the lifestyle. They talk on the lifestyle they're not living. Like, I don't think Megan Thee Stallion is really going to try to take somebody's man.
Of course not. I don't think that's her character and her presence on social media and in person doesn't seem that way. She doesn't seem like that type of person.
Ratchet, ghetto, only wants to. So she's in college. You feel me? But that's what it sell her. That's what it sell her image.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more to Megan and Cardi B and Mulatto, Dream Doll, Sweetie and them, JT and all those girls, City Girls. That's the name, City Girls. Like, there's a lot more to them than surface value. But only thing society and record labels and social media care about is surface value.
This is the brand. This is what I need you to have. Exactly. This is what I need from you. If you don't give me this, like, that's just what it is.
I want to see you sexy.
Right.
And I don't want to hear you talk about anything else. And it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks because I really do appreciate when women are able to rap. Right. Like, you know, I appreciate it for the skill of the talent. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when I hear female rappers rap just as good as male rappers, what's her name? Little Desi from Brooklyn. She a Brooklyn rapper.
Oh, I think I know who you're
And she was on the BET Hip Hop Awards cypher, and she went off, and I was like, yo, she's nice.
Like, I feel like all the artists that are definitely on like those BT ciphers, like they don't get the recognition that they deserve, because a lot of them are popping. Like, you will be like, wow, I never even, like, who is this person? Why are they not popping right now? And it's a lot of female artists too that are on there that are dope, and they would never get their shine, because it's like, where were you? Like, what happened? Like, and they have like 95 or 100% of the time they are dope, and I'm just like, yo, like, why? Where are they at? Like, why are they not signed? Why are they not independent? Why is their music not out? Why were they only on this cipher and that's it? Like, who's managing them? Like, and it comes to that as well, you know, who manages you, like what they're telling you, you know, what's the truth. You know, a lot of managers are not really telling a lot of their artists, you know, this is really what's going on, you know, this is how things are gonna go. And I feel like that's why a lot of artists want to be independent as well, like, but then it's like, you know, it's a lot harder to get your music out there when you're independent. But I feel like, you know, a lot of people are getting what they want out when they are independent. You know, they're making the music that they want. It's not on anybody else's time. Like, they're doing like what they want, how they want it, and it's getting out there. It might not get out there as much as they want it to, like, but it's like, it's still out there. And I feel like that's the important part, you know, they're still getting that recognition. But it's just like, where are the people giving them this information? Like, how is that happening?
I mean, I think what it is like, nowadays, you know, like they say labels are dead. But in reality, labels aren't dead. People just don't go to labels anymore. Right. But labels go to the people. And whatever the people like, labels will push. Right. So if I'm a label and I see everybody posting silhouette challenges and sexy this, sexy, I want this. And I see an artist out here talking about sexy this, sexy, I'm gonna push that artist, because that artist is gonna, let's be honest, labels wanna make money. Let's not sugarcoat it. It is what it is. I expect labels to fuck over artists to get what they want. Of course, as an artist, you have to be smart. You know what I'm saying? Which is why a lot of times it's up to the fan base. You know what I'm saying? If people want more music, buy more music. If you want a certain type of genre, support that genre of artists. So when it comes to men and women, it's like, it's all about who's supported. You know what I mean? So it's like an artist, you could have a female artist who spits like this, right? And a male artist who spits, you know, what's, you know, typically spit. The female artist could be better than the male artist. And the male artist will get on not because he's a male, but because he's talking to a population that's gonna listen to him more often than not. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people not buying music like that. They's just downloading and streaming and stealing it. You know what I'm saying? But then you got those artists who do sell music. Like, I'd buy a J. Cole album. I'd buy a Kendrick album. I'd buy a Wale album. I'd buy a Nicki album. I'd buy those albums because they're worth buying. But I would never buy. I'm not gonna lie. He just on Jimmy Fallon. Blue Shiesty.
Oh my gosh, he's like I was just like, what type of music is that? Like, the song is catchy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do like the song, but I'm just like, damn.
Again, culturalized. Why is it?
I'm just like, damn. Like, I wouldn't listen to your music all the time.
It's culturalized because he's on Jimmy Fallon, who has a large white audience. What do they know about getting it back in blood? What do they know about that? Nothing. They know nothing, but he was on Jimmy Fallon.
And then also, then my thing also about that is also who was featured on the song and who is like, cause didn't he do it with Little Durk?
Yeah, and I think that was the machine
I was like, there's no way he was on there by himself. Like, I'm like, there's no way. And then when I realized that, I was like, oh yeah, Little Durk was on there. So it's over.
Gucci did a remix, didn't he? Or Gucci co-signed or something like that.
I'm not sure.
Gucci had something to do with something. I remember that much.
But I know like a lot of artists that are getting pushed also is who is featured on their music. You know, who's co-signing them, who's like backing them, and it's just like, do you guys really want to put your money into this person? I was like, is it right now? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm not understanding. Okay, so I'm gonna give a little bit more controversial, one more, and then we could go a little into you. Let's talk about how what tier of fame you want.
Ooh.
Because I was talking to this other artist before, and I said, you know, what tier of music are you looking for? Because at the end of the day, we are capable of so much, you know?
Yeah.
And I talk about that in terms of life as well. You know, we are to hit a certain point of our life regardless of, you know, who we are, what we do. And once we reach that tier, like, I don't feel like we're ever gonna pass that tier because that's who we're supposed to be regardless of anything.
Yeah.
Is what level in music are you looking for? Are you looking for Hollywood and like everything after that? Or are you looking for your level of fame? Like what is it that?
Well, one thing, my biggest thing is, like I said earlier, I'd rather recognition than fame. You got a lot of artists who are recognized, but not famous. You know, like for instance, you would think Fabulous had a lot of money, or like is one of the, you know, but he's recognized as one of the best rappers in the world. So it's like, I want the same, because you can do a lot with recognition. Like honestly speaking, you can do a lot with respect and recognition you gain. I don't have to be famous, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm well off and I'm recognized for being who I am, like, you know, like that's why Cassidy still gets asked to do features. Or you got some artists like that haven't made music in years, and they're like, "Yo, just jump on my," because we recognize that artist for what he does. Like Snoop, he's not even doing music anymore, and people recognize Snoop. I put Snoop on a song because I know who he is. Just because I know what he's capable of as an artist, not just as Snoop, but as an artist. So it's like recognition is big for me. So if wherever recognition takes me, I'll be fine. I'll be honest with you. I'll be fine with just being able to say, I sold out Garden because people wanted to come hear me. You know what I'm saying? Because fame can die. Recognition never does. Recognition never dies.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But so it's, you know, you got a lot of rappers nowadays that be like, oh, I'm gonna do this to be famous. I'm gonna be on this song to get famous. I'm gonna do this with this just to be famous. People gotta understand sometimes fame dies. You know what I'm saying? Being Hollywood and all the super lights, glitz, lights go out, bro. Lights go out. Lights go out, but your name in stone will never fade, bro. Like, that's how I look at it.
I agree.
You know? I don't know if that's a level, but that's my level.
Okay. No, I agree. I definitely do agree. I say the same thing about me, so it's okay. Just know me. Just know who I am, and that's it. Like, I don't have to be the most famous person in the world. I just want you to know who I am.
Yeah. People walk down the block. Oh, that's cool. Oh, there she go. That's really like, I know her from. She's regular cruising, relaxing, minding her business.
Yeah, it's nothing
but
crazy.
There she is. Like, oh my God. Like, who has that type of level? Roxanne Shante from Queensbridge. She's a female rapper, amazing female rapper. No, she's not the most famous individual, but everybody, if you go to Queensbridge and you say Roxanne Shante, they gonna know who you talking about. Nas recognized her, like, that's the reason I rap. Like, so when you hear stories like that, you go, if I got in a room with her, I made it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it might not look like it, but it will feel like it because you recognize and you hear the respect that they have in the streets. And on any level of business, if you think about it, it's like, you know, you got some people who got street cred, you got some people who got street respect. So having credit and respect is two different things. Like, I might respect you, you know what I'm saying, because I know what you do. Like, I know you might kill somebody. I mean, I don't gotta give you shit, you know what I'm saying? But I respect the next man because he, you know, he shows love. He does this. I know what I'm gonna get back. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to if I don't give you something, I might die. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it sometimes go hand in hand. Like, to me, in my perspective, it's like hand in hand. Like, you know, yeah, recognition. You can be famous and get recognition, but you can't. Sometimes you can. If you lose your fame, then do you still have the recognition? Like, who's 6ix9ine lost all of his fame. He's no longer famous, but do you really recognize? Like, if you saw him in the street, would you really recognize him if he didn't have the rainbow hair? Exactly. He lost the fame. The fame is gone. The fame is gone. Is the recognition there? No. People want him dead. That's a problem. That's not the recognition you want in life. You know what I mean? But Lil Durk, he has recognition. You know what I'm saying? If you say, oh, I got Lil Durk, you know, oh, yo, he give love to the hood. Like, you know, we love that. You know, we love that nigga. You know what I'm saying? We love him. Like I said, with Snoop, recognized, one of the most recognizable rappers in the world. If I got in a room with Snoop, I'm gonna feel like, nigga, I made it. Like, that's it. Like, I'm in a Would I get paid? Maybe not, but I feel like I did. Like, it's Snoop. Like, it's Snoop. It's LL. It's Ice Cube. It's recognizable people. That's the most amazing thing you can have, I'll be honest with you. So
what is, so that everybody knows, what is your specific genre so that we can know?
I don't label myself in one specific genre. I'm an artist.
Okay.
So I rap, I sing, I write, you know, I'm gonna learn how to engineer pretty soon, hopefully, and one day I hope to learn how to make beats and everything else in between. Right now, I do a lot of rap music. I released a trap soul type of vibe track recently. So, well, not recently, but like 2019. So like right before COVID hit. Okay. So I released a project called Toxic, and a lot of people got trap soul vibes. Bryson Tiller, Tory Lanez, Wale, Eric Bellinger, little J. Cole, little Kendrick, you know, type vibes. So then I released another project called Welcome Home, which was me strictly rapping. And some people got Dave East, J. Cole vibes, and you know, like particulars. So as far as who am I as an artist and what genre I fit into, I listen to hip hop, but I love R&B. Okay. So it's like I'll listen to hip hop, but I'll dance to R&B anytime. It doesn't matter. Like R&B gets me hyped. So, but I do a little both. As an artist, I feel like, well, as an artist who does music, I feel like there's no. You can express yourself through any form. It's all about expression for me. So
let's talk about what project is coming out next, because when you guys are watching this episode, just know that there's something coming out for you guys. So let's talk about that if you are interested in talking about that.
I'm definitely interested in talking about that. My next project is gonna be called From Me to You. The project is a brief but very, very strong insight on where I stand, not only as an artist, but a person. Okay. So it's called From Me to You because it's from me to fans. Okay. It's from me to the listeners, from me to whoever's listening and paying attention. A lot of it is gonna be touched on the mental health, you know, situations, what it's like being an independent artist, and you know, like where my head is at as far as an artist, where my head is at during COVID. Right. Like, because COVID was a hell of a fucking event. And I believe a lot of people either folded or builded themselves in those situations. So it's gonna tell people what I did in my situation. So From Me to You will be dropping later this year. Maybe. Gonna put a question mark. To be determined. Okay.
What is the message that you try to put out in your music when you create?
Well, one thing about my music I try to put out is the same feeling I get from music, and the same thing I felt from the artist that I like is that I want to be relatable to somebody else out there who probably feels like no one else is relatable, like relating to them. Because growing up, when I heard rappers like Nas and Common, Lauryn Hill, Mos Def, Talib, Kweli, and all them, I felt like 50. Like I knew what, you know, I was able to say, damn, I know what that's like. Like I've been in that experience. Good Kid, Mad City is, the reason I started rapping was because of Kendrick Lamar, I'll be honest with you. Kendrick Lamar was the reason, like I heard High Power, and I was like, he felt the same way I felt, and he's here. Right. So it's like, one day, I shit you not, I heard, what did he say, what's the line? He said, visions of Martin Luther staring at me, Malcolm X put a hex on my future, someone catch me, a fallen victim to a revolutionary. Right there, I was like, I could rap. And I went upstairs, I remember I went upstairs and I wrote a freestyle to niggas in Paris. I wrote my verse to relate to people that understood how I felt. So it wasn't about, you know, a lot of my songs might not be about chains, jewelry, cars, and women, but it might be about, damn, I might have lost somebody, or I might be in this state. And it's like, you know, like, I never know. Somebody could listen to that in California and be like, damn, he really feel that? I feel that way too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Good Kid, Mad City was like one of those projects for me too. So it's like, I know what it's like to get jumped. Because you're not in a gang, but you know people in a gang, so, you know. But, you know, that's one thing I like to relate in my music. Definitely a mutual feeling. Your
music and yourself, 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years.
Well, in 1 year, I hope to make a breakthrough. I want my music, I want to be on, honestly, it's just the funniest thing ever. I want to be on a BET Hip Hop Awards cypher. Like, that's something I've always wanted to do. Freestyle, you know, all that stuff. 3 years, I started my brand in 2019 with my brother. In 3 years, the next 3 years, I hope to have that brand be recognized as a New York brand, as a New York, you know, placement, like place where you can do music and things of that nature. You said 4 years?
5.
5 years? I'm gonna sit on the beach, man, minding my business. Somewhere chilling, making sure my family good, man. Because at the end of the day, that's my biggest goal, is becoming an investment in my community, as far as reconstructing how my community looks and, you know, everything else. I believe the ghetto is a ghetto because they make it look ghetto. I want to change that narrative. So in 5 years, I want to be a pivotal role in the reconstruction of how places like mine look. Not just mine, but places like mine look, and how the people in those places are affected.
So my last question about that. What must you do accomplished before you die?
Simply put, I don't know if I have any goal for that. I think my most thing to accomplish is to live my life to the fullest.
I like that.
And be who I'm supposed to be, to the people I'm supposed to be, and to the rest of this world, and fulfill anything meant for me to fulfill.
I like that. That was good. That was
woke out here.
That was definitely. That's nice. That's nice. I definitely preach live life on life's terms. Like that is definitely something I talk about often. I live by that because I cannot be anybody but me.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I cannot change who I am. I am growing just like everybody else is growing, and I feel like we don't acknowledge that.
Yeah, sometimes that's the problem. That's the problem with the world. It's, you know, you want to be something, but then sometimes you might just be meant to be that, you know? Depending on what life throws at you. If life puts you in a position to do certain things, I say you pay attention. You know
of course.
Pay attention to what, like, for people that got certain gifts. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to your gifts. Amplify your gifts. Use your gifts to become who you're supposed to be.
Yes.
So, if you got a dream, wake up, do it. You feel me? That's how I look at it. If you dream that you want to be a president, wake up, do it.
I agree. You know, it might take 17 years, but
it might take 30, but do that shit.
Do it.
Do it. Anything you do, anything, as long as it makes you happy, do it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? As long as you feel that you are completing things that feel right, do it. That's how I always tell people.
Okay. I'm ready for the spice. So,
let's get it.
I have another topic, and we're going to talk business and pleasure. So, I think that a good business and pleasure aspect to throw into this is definitely within music. And how, one thing that I noticed, especially in music, in the music industry, is that everybody likes to date other artists. Like why do we do that? Like, why do you do that? I never understood that. Like, I can't date a regular person. Like, this has to be for my image. Like, it has to, like, I don't, and then it's like you date every artist. Like, why? Like, that, it just busts my head. Like, I'd be like, wasn't she just with the other guy?
Oh man, to be quite honest with you, I've always told myself that if I didn't have a girlfriend before I got famous, I'm calling to somebody's preschool teacher and find the baddest one. I'm gonna wipe her. Like, instantly.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, personally speaking, me, I feel like the person I end up with in the long run is gonna be the person I'm meant to be with. Right. They're gonna be somebody, whether, I don't care what they do, whether they're an artist or not, like, it doesn't matter to me. As long as you know, respect me and, you know, show me the things I need to, you know, I'll do the same for you. I'll reciprocate, you know what I mean? But honestly speaking, I don't believe artists should date artists. Like, I keep going back to these people because I analyze them so much. But like J. Cole and Kendrick, they got regular wives. Like, regular wives that they grew up with, like high school sweetheart wives. Yeah. And it's like, nobody else could do that? Like, it's like, you know, like, people pass. But then again, at the same time, I do understand that you want to deal with somebody who's at your tier level.
Right.
It's like, I'm sorry, like, if you're gonna be honest, I agree with females when they be like, yo, if I got this much money, I ain't fucking with nobody that can't do the same thing. But it's the same thing goes for guys. Like, you're a man, like, you shouldn't be, you know, if you're up here, you should be dating somebody who, right. You know, whether people want to say it's a challenge thing for men and masculinity thing, I don't know about all that. I mean, personally speaking, I just feel like people date within their tier level. So it's like, there's levels to this shit. You can't be dating somebody who don't want to get a job. Like,
no, I definitely do understand that, because even like at this, like whatever ages that we're at now, it's just like, if I'm going to school and I have a job and I'm looking to move out and, you know, I'm paying all these bills, like, I need you to at least meet me at, you probably have a job or two, or you're like something, like, you know, you're trying to get where I'm trying
Jobs
to get.
Jobs are mandatory nowadays.
No, yeah, like, I can't be trying to pay my bills and your bills too. Like, it doesn't work that way.
That's a fact. I mean, another thing I think about it is like this: you gotta have the same ambitions.
Yeah.
Because, like, for instance, and this is gonna hurt me. I know it's gonna kick my ass later. You know, it's like I can't be trying to be an artist and date somebody who doesn't care about where their life ends up.
Right.
You know, like, I'm cool working a 9 to 5. I'm not like I can't let somebody yell at me about what time I should come into work and, you know, let that dictate. I'm not cool. Me personally, I'm not cool with that. Like, but could I date somebody that's cool with that? I don't. I've experienced it before and I don't think I could, because if you're not trying to do something, I don't care what you're trying to do, as long as you're trying to do something. We can't, because I look at myself like an entrepreneur. So I want to have my own business, of course. So if I want to have my own business and you want to work for somebody, that just clashes opinions, because next thing you know it, I'm gonna have my own business and I gotta worry about when you gotta go to clock in. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Or in a certain sense where it's like, you won't understand that I'm always working.
Right.
You feel me? Because that's a big boundary where it's like, okay, I work for somebody and you work for yourself. You don't make time for me. I'm literally always at work because I am the business. Right. So my image and what I do and where I go and what I partake in is the business. You won't understand that simply because you have a worker's mentality. Nothing wrong with it. You want to work a 9 to 5, whatever makes you happy in your life, do what you do, but there's a conflict of interest in those situations. So when it comes to business and pleasure, this is why I feel like rappers date rappers. Right. And celebrities date celebrities. It's because they both have that mutual understanding of everything I do is catering to me as a Michael B. Jordan dating, what's her name? Jody who? Jordan Hill? Jody Wood? Jody who? How you say her name?
Oh,
who?
Lori Harvey, right?
Lori Harvey, there it is. Who's dating Jody Woods? Carl Anthony Towns. But even in that sense, you see what happens when you find out they're dating. Both their numbers and everything else goes up. Right. Why not date her? She's fire. I don't care how many rappers she's been with. She might love me. Like, if you think about it, she might love me. I know, it's fuck your mother. How about that? You know, like, she might love him. She didn't love Future, but she loved him. You know what I'm saying? But in that aspect, it's like, you don't have to date somebody that does the same thing as you. It's all about mindset. I think that's what the biggest thing is.
I agree. I feel like, you know, if I have this, it's hard, like, to find people who are on the same business mindset, but also the same mentality in terms of who you are as a person. I feel like that also clashes. So that's when, you know, pleasure starts to fall down, because it's like, we might be on the same business like level, but in terms of pleasure now, it's like, damn, like, I don't want to stick with you because X, Y, and Z, or we're not seeing eye to eye because I need to do this with you constantly. Like, I need attention, or I need time, or I need to, you know, we need to do this constantly. Like, oh, we're not having sex, or we're not, like, those are things now that are gonna bring it down, because, oh, you want to work, I want to work, but where is the time for each other? I feel like that's also
we can always find time for sex. That's something I don't think I've ever had an issue with finding time for sex. I mean, to be honest with you, I was one of my last relationships was kind of like that, where it was like, I would say the person I was with was an amazing person. She was an amazing person. Certain situations led me to believe that working on who I was would better suit not just my future, but her future as well. And it didn't work out that way because I was literally always working. So it was like, when you're your own business, you have to put money, time, energy, and effort into it. And it was like, there was a barrier that didn't, commute. And I take my fault on it. I didn't communicate, I made promises that I probably shouldn't have fucking made that I couldn't keep, which is, my fault. But still, it was still that barrier of, oh, you don't make time. Oh, I can't for certain reasons, you know what I'm saying? And that's, somebody that would if somebody was doing the same thing as me, they would be like this, okay, cool, let's find a middle ground. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to, I'm not doing the same thing. I don't agree with your lifestyle. I want time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, be those situations that happen. One thing I will say is, I learned from that experience, and I wasn't dating anybody for like 4 years, but we're not gonna talk about that. I focused on I'm a workaholic, so I use work to keep my mind, which
I understand.
So, but it's all about, honestly, that's what I believe. I think it's all about a mindset. You wanna date somebody who thinks like you. Not thinks like you, but has that same idea. There can be more. You can't think like a king and date a peasant. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't see a big picture with somebody who sees only
part of it, that little piece,
that little corner of the frame.
Dot.
You feel me? It's
that
like,
little dot right there.
You know what I'm saying? They see a blur, you see the details, and it's like they won't understand what you're creating.
No, yeah, I understand that. It's like, I have a question for everything, even if you answer my question. Like,
yeah, like
you be like, I'd be like, wait, but so what happened to that part that you just said? Like,
yeah, it's definitely something that it just, the universal meaning, like my term for it universally is, like I said, mindset. I gotta be on the same level as far as wavelengths of thinking. It's like, you don't gotta be the exact, like, you don't have to want to be a rapper, but if you want to be a model or you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to have your own business. You feel me? That's where it is. Like, that's, it don't have to be exact same business as me, but you gotta understand
something similar.
Something yours.
Yes.
You feel me? You got a lot of niggas out here that's living off their wives, but you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna talk about that neither. Got a lot of niggas out here that's like this. I'm my baby mother. I live with my baby mother. I don't got no job, but my baby mother got me. And
that be the shit. Like, that.
They got other females out here that's doing the same thing. They're like this. I don't have a job, but my boyfriend, he sell crack, so he got me. And I'm like, oh, okay, he a scammer. He got me. So
tell everybody where they can find you on social media, even though you don't like it, where they can find your music and all that good stuff.
First and foremost, once again, it's your boy Manny JR. I am JR the Dreamer. You can find me on Instagram at Manny JR Music. One word, Manny JR Music. No underscore, no periods. Make it simple for people. So it's Manny JR Music, and you can find all my songs on all platforms. Anything that's out right now is on all platforms, from SoundCloud to Spotify to Apple Music to Tidal to Amazon. We on everything. So whatever platform you use for streaming, type my name in, Manny JR.
As always, guys, my main update, make sure you buy my book. You can find it on my Instagram. You can find it, or you can just type it in. You're gonna type in Drugs of Love and Sex, and my full name, Serena Castillo. It will pop up. It's on Amazon, or you can just go on my website, serenacastillo.org. My business Instagram is Serena Castillo Edits. Of course, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's Read the Host on I said Instagram and Twitter, my bad. Get it together, sis. And as always, make sure you follow the Wonderful Shows page on Instagram and Twitter. It's TNTK Show. As always, guys, thank you for watching the show.
And that's all you need to know.
Bye, guys.